Hey guys, what's up? 4 West here, and it's Christmas, as you may have guessed, and so every Christmas you gotta get yourself some gifts to give out to people, and you're thinking, well, what should I give out? And I'm here to tell you what you should give out, and that's video games. Everyone loves video games. So, you're thinking, well, which video games should I buy? And so I'm here to help you figure that one out, because do I buy the Nintendo, or the Expo, or the station? I don't know. Well, I know, but you don't know. So, without further ado, here's 4 West to help you decide which games you should buy for this system Christmas. Okay, so first, let's take a look at the Xbox One. Now, the Xbox One came out a few weeks ago. It's a pretty hot selling system so far. A lot of people have already gotten it. A lot of great games on it so far. Some pretty good launch titles. But for those of you who don't have it and don't know anything about it, I'll be showing you all the ins and the outs so you can decide if this system is right for you. So let's take a look. So here we have the Xbox One. And if you get a special order, first day shipping and all that stuff, you get this really cool case, which is awesome. I mean, it says Xbox right in the front. It's really neat. It's really handy to have. So if you missed out on that, I'm sorry, but it's really cool. And so you open up the case, and there you have the Xbox One. And as you can see, it looks a lot different than the older systems. I mean, there's just new stuff you're getting. Now let's go ahead and take a little 360 around this box. Oh, wait. Let's take a once around this box. So, as you can see, here we have everything. That's about as far back as the box can go, which is pretty nice. And you have this cool thing on the front, like a button, which I think is brand new buttons, which is nice. So you got all these. You got 4 controller slots, which is a brand new feature because the old Xbox, like the first one, the Xbox One, I think is what it's called, the first one, only had 2 controller slots, so you didn't have this. So it's really nice if you want to play with friends, all that jazz. It's pretty nice. The next thing I want to talk about is the controllers. Now the controllers are brand new. They're really cool. Gone is that old 360 controller, which nobody really liked. In its place, we have the new Xbox One controller, which I mean is just, it's gorgeous. Let me see if I can. There. God, I'm dying. So we have the Xbox One controller, and you have all these really bright buttons. It's really cool. It's a lot slimmer, as you can see. It's not quite as bulky as the old ones. And so I think gamers are really going to notice that. Your hands just fit really nicely on there. The buttons, they work, which anyone who's played the Xbox 360 knows what I'm talking about. And so you have these nice little slots, which are actually really cool because they're trying to appeal to more casual gamers. This one, the bottom one, is actually an ashtray. So if you're a smoker, this system's for you, definitely. I'm not, but the top tray is actually a beverage holder. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I'll show you how it works. So, you get the controller, you're playing your game, you're thinking, well, I'm thirsty, I'll have to pause the game, you'll get a drink. But now, with this new feature, the iCup, cup holder, you can actually get your beverage of choice, put it right in there, you just take a drink while you're playing, keeps the game moving. It's really cool. So, beverage of choice, just water works. You open up the water, you're playing your game, you pour it right in the top, right there. And it sinks in there, just like so. And you're playing a game, you're thirsty. Ugh. And you take a drink out of the next one, you keep playing, and that's all there is to it. The game keeps working, and you keep playing. So if you like, you don't want to like pause the game, take a drink every so often, then this is the controller that you want to have. Because I mean. See, and it doesn't really spill that easily. It's awesome. So I highly recommend the Xbox One if you like to drink or smoke and play video games. So this one's for you. The last thing I want to talk about is arguably one of the most important parts, the games. So you're thinking, well, what games are there to play? And there's not too many games out right now, but there's going to be some great ones coming out. There's a Halo game. There's probably a war game coming out. I'm sure there's some sports games. The one I happened to pick up on release day is a big one. It's the new Metal Gear game, Metal Gear Solid, which is pretty cool. And I mean, as you can see, it's both on the PlayStation and the Xbox One, which is really nice because normally you don't get these on the Xbox, but this one is. And so, I mean, I'll show you some next-gen graphics from this one. So as you can see, the game's just gorgeous. I mean, it's really a lot of steps ahead of last generation's graphics. So I'd highly recommend picking up this Metal Gear Solid for the Xbox One. It's a great game. It looks great, it feels great, controls great. Just go out and get it. I really recommend it. Okay, the second console that's out is the PlayStation 4, which, again, it's a lot like the Xbox One. So, I mean, really, it's all about the games with those two systems. You're not getting too much, like, difference between the actual consoles themselves, but we'll still take a look at it. So let's go look at the PS4. And here she is. Here's the PS4 for you. It's pretty slim down, especially after the PS2 model. Which, I mean, I have one kind of right here, so we'll take a look at that really quick. But I mean, this one, I mean, look how big it is. You can't even fit it on the camera really. Let's just compare these. See, the PS4, it takes up the entire camera. I can't even get it on there. The PS3 is much smaller, or sorry, PS4 is much smaller. The PS2, I mean, look how thick you're talking. See, the PS2 is about as thick as the PS4 is wide. So I mean, that's ridiculous. But luckily with the PS4, they really slimmed down. The controllers, not quite as revolutionary. Let's go ahead and take a look at them right now. Well, first, see, we have the PS2 controller, which is right here. And see, it's a good controller, just PS2, nothing special. You got the little start thingy. But with the PS3 controller, which I'll show you in just a second, you actually get a really nice light right here in the middle. It glows, it's really pretty. I mean, it's basically the same controller, it just looks a lot more aesthetically pleasing. The big thing being the light that's right here. And so here, I got one I'll show to you. So with the PS4 controller, you just have to power it on and then the light will come on. So here's what it's looking like. I mean, as you can see, it's basically the same thing. It's got these nice little, the back triggers are nice. But again, the light's the biggest part. And to get the light working, you just, I'll set it here. You just turn on the light pretty easily. You just go ahead and pop that light on. Well, see, sometimes it's kind of a little finicky. This isn't, it's a user error, so you probably won't have this problem. It's just me being dumb. But, god damn it. You just turn on the light by pushing the start button. And there you go, you got your light on. Maybe you can see this a little better. Let's see if I can't. There we go. But so you're just playing a game like this. It's got that really nice LED light on the front. You can just go ahead and pop that whenever you want. So it's a really great controller. Not quite as revolutionary, but much prettier, much more aesthetically pleasing. It just looks great. I mean, it really does. So next time, let's move to the games. Again, I only got one game for this because it's expensive to buy 3 consoles to review and games. So I just got one game for this one. Pretty popular game. It's the new Metal Gear game, and as you can see, it's for the PlayStation 4, which is pretty sweet. So it's a great game. We can go ahead and take a look at some gameplay footage from here on. And now, as you'll see, the gameplay, the graphics, I think, my personal opinion, it's hard to tell, but I think they're better than the Xbox One's graphics. It looks crisper, it looks cleaner, there's no glitches, it looks great. So I'd highly recommend picking up Metal Gear Solid. So go ahead and, that's a stocking stuffer. It's a 4-bit West stocking stuffer. Tell your kids, they'll love it, I swear. So, there we go. The next console we got is the Wii U. And the Wii U came out a little while ago, so I mean, I have a few more games for it. A lot of people already know about it, but it's a major console, so I figure we gotta talk about this. And so I'll show you the Wii U. Here we go. Let's take a look. And here it is. Here's the Wii U. As you can see, here we go. It's the same color as the original Wii, but it's a little more advanced. a little bigger, a little nicer. The controllers are pretty cool. Again, it's like a two-tier controller. So you get the normal controller, which is nice, standard. You also get this cool light stick controller, which I think is my favorite. So you just you pop this forward, and like it's a motion capture. So you just capture motion, and so you're playing on both like this. So it's pretty cutting edge, pretty unique. But again, many people already know about that. I have a few games I'd like to talk about. Let's see. The first game being this one, which is pretty cool. It's called Vacation. Let's see if I can get it there. It's called Vacation to Montana, which is the newest one by Shigeru Miyamoto. So it's definitely worth checking out. But the one I'm going to really show you, I'll go ahead and just pop it right in to the console, and then I'll show you the game with some footage. So the game, it's a really cool game, great graphics, highly recommend it. It's Metal Gear for the Wii U. So I'd highly recommend picking this up for the Wii U. It's a great game, great graphics. And so here, I'll just go ahead and pop it in the system. You open up the system. You open up the system. You open up the system. You slide it right in. You go ahead and close the door, and then you boot it up, and there you go. It's actually a voice activated, so I can just say, Wii U, come on, let's go, and it'll actually start. So let's take a look at some gameplay footage. Okay, so here's the footage. It's pretty legit. Not quite as good looking not quite as nice looking as the other one, but it's still, I would recommend getting it. It's definitely worth checking out. But that's about all I can say about this Nintendo system. So there we go. Now there's one more console I want to take a look at, and it's also Nintendo. I feel I need to cover it. It's the Nintendo 3DS. And in my opinion, it's probably Nintendo's best console right now. So let's take a look at the 3DS. Okay, so here we go. The 3DS, it's handheld, so it's nice. It looks pretty good in your hand. You just, it's got nothing too major. You got the buttons here. It's a handheld console, so I mean, you know what you expect. I mean, the big catch with this is the 3D aspect, the element of 3D. So I mean, if that's something you're interested in, definitely go to this console. I never find myself using the 3D that much. So I mean, you can actually kind of take it off. It doesn't work fully, but you can actually slide the 3D off, and it's just a regular 2D console. There's some pretty good games. I'll show you a few of the games I have for it. Okay, so my favorite game for this is Metal Gear Solid, which is a really cool game. It's for the 3DS, which is really cool. And so I'll show you some gameplay footage from it here in a second. But it's a pretty good game. Definitely check it out if you want something good for the 3DS. This is actually console exclusive. It's only on the 3DS. So if you want to play this game, you got to get that system. It's definitely one of the better games out right now. So let's take a look at some of the gameplay footage. So here we have some of the 3DS gameplay footage. It looks pretty nice, especially for a handheld console. You're not going to find graphics better than this on a handheld console. I mean, the Vita, no, not even close. 3DS is the way to go if you want games like this. So, check it out. So, it's near the end of the video, and if I had to rank all these systems in which one I would recommend you buying, I would probably say number 4, the Wii U. I mean, it's a fine system, but I don't know. I just don't think it competes with the other ones. Number 3, probably the Xbone. Again, it just seems like a rehash of old Xboxes. It's nothing new. Number 2, the 3DS. It's a good console. It's great handheld. If you want handheld, that's the way to go. And the number 1 console that I, Forbert West, would recommend you buying for the holidays, it's the PlayStation 4. It's leagues above everything else. It's superior in every way. Gameplay, it looks It's got the best games, it's got the best graphics, it's got everything you want. It's slim, it's hip, it's now. It's 4-Bit West's pick for the holidays. Go out and buy it. You won't be disappointed. So, thanks for watching. This has been 4-Bit West with what you should buy this holiday. Subscribe to me, like and favorite, those really help so people can know more about me. Don't you want to spread the word about your favorite YouTube sensation? Well, that's okay. Thanks anyway. But follow me on Tumblr and Twitter and LinkedIn, Spotify I have, so I just got that up and running. I'm on Snapchat and Instagram and Foursquare and 4chan and Reddit. I got a subreddit, so that's pretty sweet. So go ahead and look me up on there. You can probably just Google search 4-Bit West. It'll come up #1, because I'm #1 on YouTube. So, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Tune in next time for another 4-Bit West video.